feel like Joe Rogan's a bit of a gateway drug.
If someone's watching Joe Rogan, they're also probably consuming like red-pilled stuff.
Probably more men are getting influenced by like your Andrew Tates.
Women these days, they're becoming more left. Men these days are becoming more like conservative.
I feel like young men are more lonelier now and they're going to the far right to express themselves.
Gen Z men, Gen Z women, they don't just disagree politically, they increasingly disagree about a whole range of life issues. This generation is increasingly living its life through the internet. Even when they're on the same sites, they're not seeing the same content. They're getting their information from different places, and this is either causing or exacerbating political differences. In our polling, young women skew far more to the left than young men.
Like the left used to be the group for people who don't want restrictions, and now people perceive the right as more of freedom, and I think that appeals more to men than to women.
Going right puts men in a good position of power, and women are going left because they are trying to take their rights back.
Men that are very right aren't usually friends with women. I think those American ideals are kind of pulling people into, I guess, I don't know, like red pill content.
Maybe men are disillusioned with the way gender roles have become, they're more conservative as a result, so they want to sort of come back to how it used to be, perhaps.
The thing that comes out from doing these focus groups and then looking at the quantity of polling is young women are far more suspicious of young men than young men are of young women. The capacity of social media to tailor content to the individual consumer means that these young men and young women are seeing increasingly different content. Young men are being fed a whole lot of stuff that in many cases kind of trends into right-wing stuff. But most of the young men we interviewed didn't seem to possess the ideas that they were kind of being suspected of holding.
On Instagram, I used to try to look for business ideas. So over time, my feed kind of denigrated to stuff, right-wing stuff. Like, if you want to achieve success, you need to stop talking to all the women in your life because they're holding you back. Like that type of stuff. I even saw one guy who was selling a boot camp who was like, no women allowed. It's like, okay, good for you, man.
You're a product of your environment, and I think more so these days what you are consuming.
In a way, it's kind of brainwashing them from the algorithm that they get. Sometimes you don't even get a choice, and a lot of Andrew Tate comes in your feed, and eventually it becomes more like white noise. But then you start to think slowly like that, which I've kind of realized is happening to me.
I've seen some kind of more radical female influences. So I saw this one called The Wizard Liz, and I think you could kind of position her as a female version of Andrew Tate. So that's pretty scary, and I think radical influences like that is a reason why maybe these days the two genders have a bit less unity than maybe previously.